Okay, let's talk about Gibbs free energy, cell potential, and spontaneity. We're kind of combining a bunch of topics here. So cell potential is spontaneous when it's a positive value. So in this case, we know that delta G is spontaneous when it's a negative value. So a reaction will happen spontaneously if your EMF is positive, if your delta G is negative. But what is the relationship that describes these two? We have delta G is equal to negative NFE. So looking at these variables, N is going to be the number of electrons transferred. F is going to be a constant called our Faraday's constant. It's given. The value of this is actually 96,485. And then E is going to be that EMF, E-cell, cell potential that we talked about. So moving on, let's do a little bit of math. So if we look at the equations that are given here, and they're based off of the standard equations that are here, I'm just going to write out all of them so it makes it easier. So in this case, we know we have 2 AGs, so that's basically equivalent of me multiplying this by 2. So I'm going to have 2 AG plus E minus goes to AGS. But I multiplied by 2, remember? So I'm going to put my 2's on the rest of my coefficients. Then I see that I have my FES, which is the opposite though, because it starts on this side. So I'm going to have my FES goes to Fe2 plus 2E minus. And I see that my 2 electrons cancel, so I know that I have 2 electrons for my equation. So using my equation, my delta G is equal to negative NFE. I see that I have 2 electrons. So I'm going to have 2. My Faraday's constant is given to me, so I have my 96485. And then, remember for our E-cell equation, I'm going to have my cathode minus my anode. In this case, I know that I'm going to use the more positive number here, more positive. So in this case, I'm going to have 0.7996 minus negative 0.447. The value that I get for that is going to be 1.247 volts. I'm going to plug that into my equation over here. And the value that I end up getting for that is negative 240,634 joules per mole. You can also convert this to kilojoules, but on the topic of spontaneous, remember what we talked about before. In this case, we see that our EMF is going to be positive, and then our Gibbs free energy is going to be negative. So I'm going to say, yes, this is spontaneous. Both of those things happened.